Listen, I gotta tell you something straight out the gate. People can't explain it. They don't even have the language for it. Like, what the FAK did you just do? That's the question that's floating in the air right now. What the FAK is going on? Everybody's whispering, everybody's looking over their shoulders like, nah, this don't make sense. And that's the hook right there, babe. Because you know exactly what you did. You shifted, you snapped something in the atmosphere, and people can feel it even if they don't want to admit it. Hey, big steppers, welcome back. You already know if this video found you, it's for you. It's no coincidence you're here right now. The universe controls my algorithm, not me, not YouTube, none of that. Straight up, universal energy is delivering this to your lap. So real quick, if you haven't yet, smash that like button, subscribe, drop a comment below if this is resonating already. Because let me tell you, this message, it's heavy, it's layered, and you need to hear it. Okay, so let's go. Nobody can explain what the FCA you just did, but everybody is talking. You ever notice how sometimes you can walk in a room and the whole vibe shifts? Like you didn't even open your mouth yet, but the air got thicker, the energy got louder. That's you right now. People can't explain it, but they feel it. It's like when you turn on a fan in a quiet house, you can't see the wind, but you can hear the hum. You can feel the breeze moving around. You've become that invisible hum in people's lives. I'm hearing somebody literally say, what the fuck is going on? And the wild part is they don't even know they're saying it out loud. It's slipping out of their mouths at work, in their kitchen, in their car ride home. Like, I swear people are losing track of themselves trying to figure you out. And I'm sitting here laughing because I've been in that space myself. Like the other day, I kid you not, I burnt my potatoes, right? Totally forgot they were boiling. Went back to check and boom, all the water's gone, the pan smoked out. And I'm like, what the FAK just happened? I didn't even look away for that long. That's the same energy they're in with you. You were one way, then they blinked. And now it's smoke, it's fire, it's transformation. They don't even understand how it flipped that fast. Top of the deck, here's the truth. They finally feel the weight of something far greater than themselves. And that's what's messing them up. For so long, people thought they were running the show, thought their little gossip, their little control games, their shade, their comparisons, that was the weight. But nah, now they're meeting the real weight. The weight of the universe stepping in, the weight of their own choices catching up to them, the weight of seeing you rise and realizing, oh fuck, consequences are real. Someone is now starting to feel the weight of the divine, the weight of their actions, the weight of their consequences, the weight of their decisions. It's like, you know, when you're carrying grocery bags and you try to be slick and take them all in one trip. You're like, nah, I got it, don't worry. And halfway to the door, your fingers feel like they're about to snap off. That's where they are. That's where your enemies, your doubters, your fake friends are. They're feeling that deep throbbing ache of carrying something too heavy, something bigger than what they were built for. And here's the crazy part. They're realizing it's because of the way they treated you. Somebody wants to end the conflict, like no smoke, no more. Somebody wants peace. And you know when people reach that point, it's when they finally see that every arrow they launched, every whisper, every little trap, it boomeranged right back, and now it's too heavy to carry. They're begging for peace, not because they suddenly became better people, but because the universe threw that mirror in their face. And let me keep it real, big steppers. I feel like even you don't fully see how big this shift is. Because when you're the one living it day by day, it feels like little things, like you're just minding your business, staying quiet, maybe even going more inward. You're not running around with fireworks announcing yourself. But to them, it's fireworks. It's a damn thunderstorm. It's like if you've ever been in your house and the power suddenly cuts out, you know, pitch black silence, fridge clicks off, everything just stops. That's the feeling you triggered in their spirit. And I don't even think you did it on purpose. That's the funniest part. You didn't wake up and say, I'm going to throw people's lives into a tailspin today. Number, you just align. You just chose you. You just started protecting your energy, protecting your safety, and that is non-negotiable. Non-fucking negotiable. And people cannot believe that. They can't wrap their head around someone who doesn't fold, who doesn't backtrack, who doesn't play their little games anymore. So now, here they are, stumbling, whispering, what the F is going on? And I'm telling you, they're about to show their cards. They want to end the conflict. They want to sit at the table. They want a treaty. Because the weight, the divine weight, is pressing down so hard, they finally see there's no way out except surrender. And that's the thing, right? You can already feel it. Somebody don't want the smoke no more. They don't want it. It's too hot, too heavy, too much. They want peace. They're scrambling now, waving a little white flag in the air. And I swear to you, I keep seeing this card in my head that literally says peace treaty on it, like a big bold headline. Somebody's spirit is like, please, can we just call it even? And here's where it gets interesting, babe, because I don't even know if this peace treaty is supposed to be directly with you. It might be, it could be, but it also feels like somebody's just ready to make peace with the whole world, like tired of fighting their own reflection in the mirror, tired of running from the weight of their own decisions. Maybe they want peace with their family, with old friends, with themselves. Or maybe, and this is what I'm really feeling, they just want you to stop haunting their conscience, because that's what happens, right? When you stop giving energy to people, when you stop entertaining their drama, they start battling themselves. And then they come running back like, okay, wait, I'm done, I surrender. You didn't even swing, but they're tapping out. But here's the flip side of it. You, big steppers, you've gone into hermit mode, you're doing your own thing. And it's funny because I was literally in that mode myself yesterday. I had the whole house quiet, phone on silent, no TV, just me, my tea, and my notebook, scribbling, reflecting, feeling my own thoughts echo back at me. And in those moments, I realize that's when everything gets real clear. That's when you see who's for you and who's not. That's when you catch the lies people told you without them ever confessing. That's the hermit energy. And I think that's what's got them shook. Because the old you might have argued back. You might have gone back and forth. You might have tried to fix things, explain yourself, bend over backwards. But this hermit version of you, oh nah, silent, detached, reflecting. And silence is so loud, isn't it? It makes people hear their own guilt echo back at them. Think of it like this. Imagine two boxers in the ring, one swinging wild, throwing everything they got, the other one just standing there calm, arms down, not even punching back. At first, the crowd's like, yo, swing back. But after a while, the one swinging gets tired. Their arms get heavy, their breath gets short, and suddenly they realize they're fighting themselves. That's exactly what's happening here. You're not engaging, and that silence is killing them louder than words ever could. Now, someone's been in hermit mode on their end too. They've been doing some reflecting, and you know what reflection does. It makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to look at themselves with no filter, no distraction. And that's when regret starts to creep in, and they're sitting there thinking about every time they chose ego over truth, every time they tried to throw dirt on your name, every time they laughed when you stumbled instead of reaching a hand out. And now they want to end the conflict. And honestly, it's so ironic because while they're sitting there reflecting, you're reflecting too. But the difference is you're not reflecting with regret. You're reflecting with wisdom. You're pulling lessons out of every situation. You're turning silence into power. They're over there like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. Meanwhile, you're like, yeah, that taught me never to go down that road again. Same silence, different outcomes. Let me give you another example. You ever notice how when you clean your room, halfway through it looks way messier than when you started? Clothes everywhere, dust flying, everything out of place. But that's because you had to pull it all out to see it clearly. That's exactly what hermit mode feels like. You had to pull all those thoughts out, spread them across the floor of your mind, and now you're seeing what stays, what goes, what gets folded up nice and neat. And baby, once you do that, peace comes automatically. So yeah, someone wants a peace treaty. They want to sign the dotted line like, okay, I'm done. I don't want no problems with you. But don't get it twisted. It's not just because they're noble or evolved. It's because your silence, your withdrawal, your choice to step back into hermit energy has left them with no option but to sit in their own mess. And when people have to sit in their own mess, they'll do anything to crawl out. And you know what? I don't even think you're waiting on that peace treaty. You don't need it. You already created peace for yourself the second you pulled your energy back. That's the real gag. You don't need their apology, their handshake, their white flag. You built your own flag. You painted it in your own colors. You planted it on your own land. That's your hermit mode. Self-made peace. No outside permission required. I mean, let's be real. Conflict requires two people. And when one person decides they're not playing anymore, what's left? Nothing. Just them shadowboxing their own reflection, wearing themselves out. That's why they want peace. Not because they suddenly love you, not because they suddenly grew morals, but because you took your energy away and now they're fighting shadows. So here we are, big steppers. Someone wants to end the conflict. They want to sit at the table and talk peace. But you've already gone inside. You've already found your own quiet, your own clarity. And maybe that's the lesson. When you stop feeding conflict, it starves. And when conflict starves, people come running, begging to feed off your peace instead. And here's where it starts to get a little spooky, right? Because as soon as you went into that hermit mode, boom. Awareness started flooding in, like lights flicking on in a dark hallway one by one. Click, click, click. You're seeing things you didn't see before. You're noticing things about yourself, about other people, about the patterns around you. And honestly, it feels weird. It feels off. It feels like, hold up, why didn't I catch this sooner? Why didn't I notice this years ago? But that's what happens when you step back. That's what happens when the noise cuts out. You finally hear the truth humming in the background. And I'm telling you, people are feeling it too. They're becoming more aware of themselves, more aware of their actions. And let's be real, not everybody likes awareness. Because awareness is a mirror, and a mirror will tell you the truth, whether you're ready for it or not. It's like those times you flip on your phone camera by accident, you know, the front-facing one, and suddenly you're looking down at yourself from that terrible angle. You're like, damn, I didn't even know I looked like that. That's the exact energy. People are being forced to look at themselves at bad angles, unfiltered, raw. And guess what? You're part of that mirror. Your very existence, your glow up, your silence, your energy right now, it's reflecting something back to them. They're seeing who they really are, not who they pretend to be. And it's uncomfortable. That's why somebody wants to end the conflict. Not because they suddenly became holy or pure-hearted, but because awareness has made it impossible for them to lie to themselves anymore. And I'll be real with you, it feels weird on your end too. Because you're noticing things. You're noticing who calls when they need something versus who calls just to check on you. You're noticing how drained you feel after certain conversations. You're noticing how somebody's little joke about you wasn't really a joke at all. You're like, wait a minute, that was shade. And all these little things, they add up. And that's what awareness is. It's not one big revelation. It's 1,000 little flickers that suddenly make the whole picture clear. Now, here's the other side of it. While you're becoming more aware, they're becoming more clingy. Somebody is holding on to you way too tight, like gripping, clawing, refusing to let go. And I don't know if you've ever tried to walk with a kid who doesn't want to leave the playground, but that's what it looks like. They latch onto your leg, they drag their feet, they make the whole process harder than it has to be. That's what this person's spirit is doing. You're walking into your hermit mode, into your quiet, into your peace, and they're hanging on your ankle like, wait, don't leave me. And the wild part? Some of them are doing this while still pretending they don't like you. Imagine that. Somebody holding on tight while at the same time rolling their eyes, gossiping, talking about you behind your back. It's like, okay, which one is it? You hate me or you can't let me go? No, because clearly you can't have it both ways. But they're trying, they're desperate, and I know some of y'all are feeling this tug. That's why hermit mode is so important right now, because you're not just running away from the world, you're creating a boundary. You're putting space between yourself and the people who want to leech off your energy. Because that clinginess, it's not love, it's not respect, it's desperation, it's fear. They don't want to lose the light they were siphoning from you. I'll give you an example. The other day I was untangling my headphones, you know, the wired ones, and no matter how careful I tried to pull, there was one knot that just wouldn't come out. I'd pull one way, it tightened. I'd pull the other way, it tightened again. And I was like, man, this cord is holding on for dear life. That's exactly how some people are with you right now. You're trying to pull away gently, trying not to cause drama, but they just keep tightening their grip, refusing to release. But here's the kicker. They're starting to see things differently now. They've been reflecting too, maybe not willingly, but the universe will sit you down when it wants to. And in that reflection, they're realizing, damn, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have treated them like that. Maybe I should have listened. Maybe I should have supported instead of competed. They're sitting there stuck in their own reflection, and now they're like, wait, I need a peace treaty. I don't want to lose this person completely. But let's be real, babe. It's not just about you. It's about them facing themselves. Because awareness doesn't just show you the people around you. It shows you yourself. And that's where they're at. The peace they're begging for isn't just peace with you, it's peace with themselves. And isn't that wild? That you pulling back, you going quiet, you choosing hermit mode has triggered all this in them. You didn't even do nothing loud, nothing messy. Just you being still has caused earthquakes in their spirit. So here's the truth, big steppers. Awareness is a mirror. And right now, everyone's holding one. You're holding one up to them, they're holding one up to you. The universe is holding one up to all of us. And in those reflections, choices are being made. Some people want peace because they finally see who they've become. Some people are clinging because they can't stand the thought of losing access to your light. And you're standing in the middle of it, realizing just how powerful your silence, your space, your awareness really is. And you know what's wild? While you're in hermit mode, doing your self-discovery thing, following your own path, just trying to breathe and protect your own energy, there are still people who can't release you. They can't. It's like their hands are glued shut around your aura. They didn't want to step out of your energy, but now that it's gotten too heavy, they're suddenly the ones waving the peace flag. Suddenly they want to end conflict. Suddenly they don't want the smoke anymore. But here's the twist. Somebody opened themselves up to a destructive energy and they got betrayed. They thought they were smart, thought they were clever, thought they were playing some game with you or with spirit or with whoever, but nah, they got tricked. They fell into a trap that they set for somebody else, and now they're sitting there like, damn, I didn't see that coming. And I know I talked about this before. Honestly, I feel like every reading lately has been building on the last one. Like sequels, like chapters. You got the first half, the second half, and now this, the third half. Each one unfolding a little more of the same story, showing us how this whole thing is spiraling. Because it's not just random chaos, it's connected. It's like a Netflix series, babe. You can't just watch one episode and know the whole plot. You got to keep watching, keep paying attention. And what's being revealed now is the pressure. Somebody is under a lot of pressure. I'm talking about trapped, cornered, can't move, can't defend themselves. And when I say pressure, I don't mean just like a little bit stress. No, I'm talking about full-blown suffocation, like when you're underwater too long and your chest starts burning and you're clawing to reach the surface, but the surface feels like it's a mile away. That's how they feel right now. Somebody feels helpless, alone, like no one's coming to save them. And maybe that's true, because when you live your life making destructive choices, when you keep betraying people, when you open doors you weren't supposed to open, eventually you trap yourself. And that's where they are right now, stuck in a corner of their own making. And here's the kicker. This is someone who saw you in a distorted way. They didn't see you clearly. They didn't see your light for what it was. They saw through dirty glass, through their shadow self. And I'm telling you, big steppers, somebody is starting to see you differently now. Like they're rubbing their eyes after being in the dark too long. The vision is clearing. But it's not because they suddenly woke up enlightened. It's because the pressure forced them to. Think about it like this. You ever had a picture frame on your wall and you don't realize how dusty it is until the sunlight hits it just right? Then suddenly you're like, wow, this thing looks nothing like I thought it did. That's what's happening. They thought they knew you. They thought they had you figured out. But they were looking through the lens of their own wounds, their own lies, their own jealousy. And now the light is hitting, and the dust, the distortion, all of it is being exposed. And let's not ignore this. Sometimes they were seeing you through the eyes of other people. Somebody else's words, somebody else's gossip, somebody else's perception painted their whole picture of you. And instead of checking for themselves, instead of getting to know the real you, they just went along with that distorted version. That's why they betrayed you. That's why they opened themselves up to destructive energy, because they weren't even seeing reality, they were seeing shadows. And that's what I'm hearing clear. They weren't healed. That's why they saw you wrong. When people are unhealed, they see love as manipulation, kindness as weakness, distance as rejection, and power as arrogance. It's all flipped in their head. Their own shadow makes everything look distorted. So when they looked at you, all they saw was the twisted reflection of their own issues. And now that the pressure is on, now that they've been betrayed, now that they've been cornered and can't defend themselves, they're starting to see you differently. They're like, wait a second. Maybe I had them wrong. Maybe I judged too fast. Maybe I listened to the wrong voices. But by the time they're realizing that, you've already pulled back into hermit mode. You're already gone, reflecting, healing, evolving. I had this moment last week, true story, where I was trying to screw the lid onto a jar, and no matter what I did, it kept going crooked. Like, it just wouldn't line up. And I realized, oh, I'm the one twisting it wrong. That's the same realization hitting them. They were twisting the story wrong this whole time. And now that the lid won't close, the pressure's building, and they're left holding a mess they can't contain. So yeah, big steppers, someone is under pressure, someone is trapped, someone feels helpless and alone. And the real kicker is they put themselves there by opening up to destructive energy, by betraying you, by seeing you in a distorted way. And while they're over there gasping for air, you're over here in hermit mode, breathing deeper than you ever have before. And maybe that's the true split between you and them. You chose discovery, they chose destruction. You chose reflection, they chose betrayal. And now the consequences are rolling in heavy, pressing down, making them face the truth they tried so hard to avoid. And here's where it gets tricky, big steppers. Because while some people are finally starting to see you clearly, there are still others playing games. Pretending, acting like they're on your side, smiling in your face, dropping little comments of support, maybe even checking in here and there like they care. But you feel it, you know it, you see straight through the gaslighting and the manipulation. And that's the thing about gaslighting. It always tries to make you question what you already know deep in your gut. It's like someone handing you a glass of water and insisting it's orange juice. You can taste it, you can see it, you know it's water, but they'll sit there with a straight face and say, no, it's orange juice. What are you talking about? That's what this energy feels like. Somebody wants to twist your perception, make you doubt yourself, make you lean on them instead of trusting what you already feel. But the divine is saying loud and clear, trust what you see, trust what you feel. Don't second guess yourself this time, because you've graduated past that. You're not in the season of being confused anymore. You're in the season of clarity, of discernment. If something feels off, it is. Period. And I don't know who this person is in your life. It could be somebody you talk to every day, or somebody you only text once in a while, or even somebody you only see through social media. It doesn't matter. The mask is slipping, and you've been given the sight to catch it. But here's the twist. Now, while you're catching them, they're also going through their own kind of isolation. And this is the part that blows my mind, because sometimes people are not choosing hermit mode the way you are. You chose silence, you chose self-reflection, you chose to pull back. But some of these people, they're being forcefully isolated. Spirit is clearing people out of their lives. Relationships are falling apart. Situationships are crumbling. Friend groups are closing doors on them. And suddenly they're sitting there in the silence they never wanted, facing themselves. And it's in that silence where their mask starts to feel heavy. That's when the pretending gets exhausting. That's when they realize, damn, I can't keep faking this forever. And part of me thinks that's why they want to end the conflict, because isolation has a way of stripping you down. It shows you who you are without an audience. And for some of these people, that's terrifying. I'm hearing it clearly. This person has issues with feeling neglected, rejected, abandoned. It's deep in their bones. So instead of being authentic with you, instead of being real, they put on this mask and pretended to be on your side because they were scared if they showed you who they really were, you'd walk away. But the thing is, the pretending did more damage than the truth ever would have. And you saw straight through them. From day one, you might not have said anything. You might have even let them keep talking, keep smiling, keep posting. But in your spirit, you already knew. And you can't unknow the truth once you've seen it. And it's like when you've had a bad piece of fruit, you bite into it and realize it's rotten. Even if you put it back down on the counter and pretend it's fine, you know it's not. You can't unknow that taste. And that's what happened here. You already tasted the energy, you already saw the distortion, and now it's impossible to look at them the same. Something about the way they saw you, though, that's what made them fake it. Maybe they saw you through the rumors. Maybe they heard stories about you and let that paint their picture, or maybe their own shadow self made them see you as competition, as a threat, as someone they had to mimic instead of connect with. Whatever it was, it warped their vision. And warped vision leads to fake behavior. It reminds me of this one time I went to buy sunglasses. I put on a pair and thought, wow, these are amazing. Wore them outside and suddenly everything looked too dark, colors off, the world distorted. That's exactly what this person did. They put on lenses that made you look different, and instead of taking them off and saying, okay, this isn't the right fit, they just kept wearing them, acting like the world looked normal. And the divine is like, no more. No more pretending, no more gaslighting, no more manipulation. Because your clarity has burned through all of that. You see them, you feel them, and even though they might be begging for peace, even though they might be trying to creep back into your good graces, you know exactly who they are. And here's the part that gets me. They thought you couldn't see it. They thought they were slick, thought they were blending in, but you've been 10 steps ahead, because this season of your life, Spirit's been training your eyes, sharpening your intuition, making sure you never fall for the same illusions again. You see people's spirits now, not just their words. You see their energy, not just their actions. And once you see at that level, gaslighting doesn't work anymore. And so yeah, big steppers, someone's mask is slipping, someone's isolation is breaking them down, someone's spiritual test is exposing every lie they tried to hide behind, and you're passing your test with flying colors. Because you're not here to argue with illusions anymore. You're here to trust what you feel, trust what you see, and keep walking your path without letting anybody pull you back into the shadows they refuse to leave. And here's the thing, big steppers. There's someone right now, you can feel it. You're seeing straight through them, through their gaslighting, through their manipulation. You know when something just don't sit right, like the energy's off, the vibe is crooked, their words don't line up with their actions. That's this person. They're smiling, but you feel the teeth behind it. They're saying one thing, but your body, your intuition is screaming, nah, this ain't it. This ain't trustworthy. And the divine's message is so clear. Don't ignore that feeling. Don't dismiss it. Spirit is saying, trust what you see, trust what you feel. And for some of y'all, this is literally connected to making an offering. Somebody's been sitting on it, thinking about it, like, should I? Should I not? Maybe I'll do it next week number. Spirit's like, go do it. Make the offering, place it, pour it, burn it, lay it down by the water, go make that offering, because that act, that little ritual, it seals your clarity, it anchors your protection. And now, here's the twist. They're the ones who got tricked. The very person who tried to manipulate you, who pretended to be on your side, they ended up being the one who got played. And that's why they're scrambling now. That's why they're waving their little white flag. They thought they were in control, but nah, they were the pawn. Somebody tricked them, used them, and now they're left holding the weight of it. And I'm hearing it loud. That's why they want to end conflict, because they're realizing they weren't the player in this game, they were the piece, and now they're stuck with consequences they can't shake off. But let's be clear, part of the reason they can't grip you anymore is because you went into hermit mode. Your silence broke their control, your withdrawal blocked their access. It's like you shut off the Wi-Fi and now their device won't connect. That grip they used to have on your energy, gone. That access they thought they were entitled to, gone. And that's what's causing this whole awakening, not just in them, but in everybody around you. You pulled back and suddenly people started seeing the truth. But let's not miss this detail. This person is running dry, energy gone, resources drained, and they're looking at you like you're the last source of water in the desert. And that's dangerous, because when people are thirsty like that, desperate like that, they'll try to drink from you even if it means poisoning you in the process. This is the same person pretending to be on your side, putting on a mask, but behind the mask, they're scheming, trying to figure out how to siphon off your light. And you can feel it. It's like when someone's standing too close and you can literally feel them pulling on your aura. That's what's happening energetically. And let me break it down with an everyday example. I was charging my phone the other day and I noticed the charger wasn't working. The cord was frayed, sparking a little. And even though it looked like it was charging, it was actually draining my battery faster. That's what this person is. They look like support, like connection, but really they're just draining you, pulling energy without giving anything back. And that's why Spirit is telling you to make that offering, because offerings aren't about appeasing some outside force. They're about keeping your energy balanced, keeping your spiritual bank account full so nobody else can come in and overdraft it. You give intentionally so that you don't end up leaking accidentally. And here's the thing, they feel tricked. And that's a funny kind of karma, because the gaslighter got gaslit, the manipulator got manipulated, the thief got robbed, and now they're standing there empty-handed looking at you like you're the only thing left to take from. But you've wised up. You see it clearly now. You're not falling for the crocodile tears, the fake support, the I've changed speeches. You're seeing the energy for what it is. And that's the true exposure. They're exposed, not because you called them out, not because you blew up their spot, but because you didn't play along anymore. You didn't keep the Wi-Fi on. You didn't keep the charger plugged in. You didn't keep pretending you didn't notice. And that silence, that boundary, that hermit energy, it exposed them better than words ever could. And let me be real, this exposure is spreading. It's not just you seeing them now. Others are seeing it too. Friends, family, community, even their own spirit guides are shining a light on their mask. And the funny part is they can feel it. They can feel that people don't look at them the same way anymore. That's why they're desperate to come back into your energy, to siphon, to take, to try to patch up what's been revealed. But nah, Spirit says no. You see it, you feel it, and once you see gaslighting for what it is, it loses its power. Once you see manipulation for what it is, it stops working. And that's where you're at right now. Eyes wide open, spiritually awake, no longer a battery pack for somebody else's brokenness. So yeah, big steppers, somebody feels tricked, somebody's energy is dry, their resources are gone, their mask is slipping, and they're scrambling to get close to you again. But you're not the same anymore. You're in hermit mode, you're guarded, you're offering, you're protected, and most importantly, you see them. And once you see someone for who they really are, you can't unsee it. That's exposure. That's the end of the game. You know what the real gag is? They're sitting there right now, scratching their heads, trying to figure out how the hell you caught them. That's what it is. That's the big reveal. That's why the sudden switch, why they don't want smoke anymore. Because they're shook that you saw through the mask. Like, wait, how? How did they know? How did they piece it together? And it's eating at them, y'all. They can't figure it out. But I'll tell you how. You went into hermit mode. That was the move that blocked them. Because when you're quiet, when you're still, when you stop giving out all that extra energy, people expose themselves, they trip up, they slip, they reveal their hand. You caught them not by chasing them, not by spying, not by arguing. You caught them by stepping back and letting Spirit do the heavy lifting. And now they're shook. Somebody who's been looking at you distorted, talking down, projecting, gossiping, they're realizing, damn, this person sees me. They know the truth. And I don't even think it's just one person, that there are still folks, or maybe folks from your past who pretended to be on your side, who tried to sit close enough to drain your energy, but not close enough to be loyal. But here's the thing, all of them are running out of energy and resources. All of them. You ever see those little dollar store flashlights? They shine bright for like 5 minutes, then start dimming out real quick. That's them. And the crazy part, the ones who thought they had endless batteries are the main ones flickering now. And suddenly they're like, wait, I want peace. Wait, I don't want conflict because the truth is too heavy for them. And here's what they can't deny anymore. Your spirit shines through. They're starting to see you exactly for who you are. Authentic, true to self, unapologetic, someone who moves with integrity, with morals, with values. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their cosign. And that's why they see you clearly now. Because your shine isn't something you announced, it's something you are. It's like somebody seeing the God in you. And when I say that, I mean the spark, the divine thread, the light that can't be faked, can't be duplicated, can't be siphoned forever. It's that glow you carry that makes people say, damn, there's something different about them. And the same ones who tried to distort it, who tried to gaslight it, are now sitting there stunned like, wait, that's real. That's who they actually are. And listen, there was even a side note in here. Spirit don't let nothing slide. That trick that thought they had you. They got an STD, sis, straight up. Whether physical or spiritual, something is attached to them that they can't shake. And you know what? That's none of your business. It's confirmation. Proof that the ones who moved grimy, the ones who thought they could play in your face, they're paying their own bill. But here's the message Spirit really wants you to hold on to. You are more than capable of protecting yourself. Don't let the noise, don't let the threats, don't let the energy vampires make you feel like you're weak. People are seeing that you can stand tall on your own, that you don't need a whole army to protect you. Your spirit, your faith, your resilience, your practices, your inner power, that's enough. That's more than enough. And these enemies, they're not lightweights. These aren't just people throwing side eyes and whispering gossip. These are relentless enemies. The kind that want to hit your finances, your mind, your heart, your relationships, your health. They wanted to shake your foundation, keep you stuck, keep you confused, keep you second guessing. I'm talking about real plots. Energy sent to trip you up in every area of your life, and yet you're still standing. And here's the part that makes me smile every time. The black sheep is now the GOAT, period. They thought you'd always be the outcast, the overlooked one, the one nobody saved. But baby, you saved yourself. Well, you built your own ark when it was raining. You lit your own path when the lights went out. And now you're the greatest of all time in your own lane. It's like, remember in school when you weren't picked for the team, when everybody overlooked you? That's the black sheep moment. But then you grow up, you practice, you hone your skills, and now you're the star player, the one they can't stop watching. That's GOAT energy. That's you right now. And the truth is, they can't hold on to you anymore. They tried, they clawed, they hung on. But you've elevated. You're operating at a level they can't even breathe at. And that's why they're mad. That's why they're drained. Because they thought you'd always be the black sheep, the outcast, the one lost in the corner. But no, you flipped the whole story. You're the GOAT now, the greatest, the one they can't deny. And the beautiful irony, you didn't need them to crown you. You didn't need them to validate it. You crowned yourself by surviving, by protecting yourself, by being authentic when everybody else was fake. And now they're forced to acknowledge it. They're forced to look at the very person they tried to play and admit, damn, they won. And listen, the divine is saying something so clear right now. You got it. You got it. That's the message. Over and over again, I keep hearing it. You got it. Not in the sense of maybe, not in the sense of someday. No, it's right now. You got it. You've been carrying it the whole time and maybe you didn't even know it. And when I say that, I don't just mean you got the strength or you got the protection. I mean, you've got the authority, the right, the ability. Spirit's literally like, yeah, we got your back. We've been here. We're not going nowhere. But baby, you can swing the sword too. You can call down justice too. And this is where it shifts. Because you're not just waiting for karma to catch up. You're calling it down yourself. Karmic judgment, righteous judgment, divine justice on the heads of your enemies. And it's not out of spite. It's not out of bitterness. It's out of alignment. You've earned that right. And here's the wild part. Like, while you're stepping into that authority, somebody else is watching you with tears in their eyes, sad, broken, sitting in regret, because they see your breakthrough and it makes them realize everything they lost. Watching you shine is a mirror they can't escape. Watching you escape what they tried to trap you in, that's torture for them. Somebody who thought you'd never get out, somebody who thought their grip was permanent, is now choking on their own chains while you're running free. This is especially true of someone who had that sex entity attached to them. And let me just say it. They thought no one would come and save you. They thought they were the best you could do. Like, if you don't stay with me, nobody else will want you. If you walk away, you're going to be alone forever. That was their little power trip. But the gag is, you never needed them to save you. We don't need saviors out here. We save ourselves. And you proved that. And oh my God, the spell work. The desperation is unreal. Somebody actually got spell work done on you. On a payment plan. Layaway witchcraft. Like, what is this? Afterpay hexes? Klarna curses? How desperate do you have to be to finance your wickedness? And the funniest part is, they couldn't even pay it off. They started something they couldn't finish. And now they're sitting there broke, both spiritually and literally, while you're over here transmuting everything they sent. Working through it, turning it into fuel, turning it into power. That's the comedy of it, honestly, because the very thing they thought would break you is the thing you flipped into your breakthrough. And that's the part they'll never understand. They'll never get how you took the curses, the betrayals, the gossip, the manipulation, and turned it into your elevation. They watch you like, how? How did they do that? And the answer is simple. You're not built like them. You were called, you were chosen, you were meant to alchemize. And speaking of calling, the divine has been calling you to make a change, and you did it. You didn't stall, you didn't wait for a perfect moment, you listened, you pivoted, and now you're untouchable. Spirit is saying you're not allowing anybody to come in and take a damn thing from you. Not your peace of mind, not your money, not your joy, not your health, not your destiny, nothing. You've locked that gate, and anyone who tries to climb it will cut themselves on the barbed wire you've strung across the top. And now they regret it, all of them. They regret the life they chose, they regret the games they played. And it's too late. Because the thing about regret is it doesn't erase the action, but it just weighs down the heart. And right now, their hearts are heavy. Meanwhile, your downloads are enhancing, your gifts are sharpening, your clarity is insane right now. You're seeing things before they happen. You're hearing messages in the quiet. You're getting insights that shock even you. And with every download, your strength grows, your power grows. And you're not just holding it, you're using it. Using it to set boundaries, using it to manifest, using it to protect, using it to create. And let's not skip this. Your emotions are deeper now too. You're feeling on a higher level. Spirit has been opening your heart chakra, expanding your capacity, not just to love, but to discern. You can feel energy in ways you couldn't before. You pick up vibes instantly. You sense shifts in the atmosphere. It's like you've become a finely tuned instrument and Spirit is playing music through you. And here's the final awakening. They can't hide anymore. They can't hide what you already know. They can't pretend, can't gaslight, can't manipulate. The truth is out and you see it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The black sheep. That was just the beginning. You've turned into the GOAT, the greatest of all time in your lane. The one they can't erase, can't replace, can't ignore. You saved yourself. You realized the power was always within you. And once you realized that, you stopped letting people get away with murder under the name of love and light. You stopped letting people slide with disrespect. You stopped accepting scraps. You stopped taking their shit. And you started waging warfare the right way, strategically, spiritually, successfully. And now, they can regret, they can cry, they can wonder how you caught them, how you survived, how you thrived. But you know the truth. You know who you are now. And once that's locked in, nothing, and I mean nothing, can take it away.